Welcome to the hidden world of American treasures, where a simple Jefferson nickel transforms from pocket change into a symbol of history, mystery, and unexpected fortune. First up, in the quiet hum of America's post-war prosperity, one small coin struck at the Denver Mint in 1960 began its quiet journey through the hands of millions. The 1960 Jefferson nickel, though seemingly ordinary to the casual eye, has become a symbol of mid-century minting craftsmanship and the enduring fascination of collectors who see treasure in the everyday. What makes this particular nickel so captivating isn't just its age, it's the story it carries, the flaws it hides beneath its dirty, well-worn surface, and the rarity that time itself has bestowed upon it. Today, this unassuming 5-cent piece, when found in exceptional condition or with particular die varieties, can command prices soaring past $3,000, proving that history sometimes hides in the smallest of places. The year 1960 was a fascinating moment in U.S. coinage history. The nation was experiencing an economic boom, but the mint was facing increasing demand for small change as vending machines, payphones, and everyday commerce relied heavily on coins. The Denver Mint, marked with the small d beneath Monticello on the reverse, struck hundreds of millions of nickels that year. Yet despite this high mintage, most were carelessly handled, spent, and respent until their features blurred into obscurity. Unlike silver coins of the same era, the nickel composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel meant these coins did not tarnish attractively. They grew dull, dirty, and often corroded with age. The few that survived in uncirculated brilliance or with noticeable minting errors became accidental rarities, hidden gems in the flood of everyday coinage that defined an era of American abundance. Turning the coin in your hand reveals the familiar and stately profile of Thomas Jefferson, facing left, his gaze steady, his hair tied back in the classical style. On pristine examples, you can see sharp details in Jefferson's cheekbone and the fine lines of his collar, features often lost to circulation wear. The inscription "In God We Trust" arcs along the left edge, while Liberty and the date 1960 follow the right curve. The reverse features Jefferson's beloved home, Monticello, framed with precision and architectural grace. In the Denver issue, a small D mint mark sits just to the right of the building's base, signifying its origin. While the design remained consistent with earlier Jefferson nickels, small die differences, such as weak strikes or doubled lettering, make certain 1960 D varieties exceptionally collectible. Even in dirty or circulated form, these subtle details whisper the craftsmanship of an era before automation fully replaced artistry. What truly drives the rarity of the 1960 D Jefferson nickel lies in condition and survival. Millions were struck, but few endured time's relentless wear. Most nickels from this period were heavily used, tossed into drawers, dropped into parking meters, or lost beneath couch cushions. Today, finding a 1960 D nickel in even modestly preserved form is common, but discovering one with full steps on Monticello, a sign of a sharp strike, is remarkably difficult. Add to that the occasional die error, such as a repunched mint mark or off-center strike, and suddenly a coin that once bought a stick of gum becomes a collector's prize. Dirty, circulated pieces still hold interest for beginners, serving as a tangible link to mid-century America, but those rare few that escaped wear command the spotlight. Collectors continue to seek out this coin, not merely for its metallic value, but for the story it represents within the Jefferson Nickel series. The 1960 D issue stands out as a transitional relic, bridging the designs of earlier decades with the evolving minting precision that would come later. It represents a moment when America's coinage reflected both classical ideals and modern efficiency. Enthusiasts prize it as part of a larger historical narrative, an affordable entry point into nickel collecting that still holds surprises. Within the Jefferson series, the Denver issues are known for their character, often showing distinctive strike variations that make each find unique. It's this combination of history, design, and unpredictability that gives the 1960D nickel its enduring charm among collectors who appreciate depth beyond face value. In today's market, the value of a 1960D Jefferson nickel depends heavily on condition and rarity of strike. A heavily worn or dirty coin may fetch only a modest sum, perhaps a few dollars, yet examples in superb gem condition with full steps can leap dramatically in price. Collectors and grading experts have recorded sales ranging from $700 to well over $3,800, with certain exceptional varieties crossing the $4,000 threshold. Coins with strong luster, sharp detail, or die anomalies are especially coveted. The thrill, of course, lies in the hunt. Many of these treasures are still discovered in pocket change, rolls, or old family jars. The idea that a forgotten coin from 1960 could hold such unexpected worth continues to spark excitement among numismatists and casual treasure hunters alike. For those hoping to find or preserve one of these elusive nickels, attention to detail is everything. Condition reigns supreme. Clean surfaces, crisp steps on Monticello, and original mint luster all contribute to higher grades and greater value. Grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and encapsulate your coin, preserving both its beauty and its market appeal. Even a dirty 1960D nickel should never be harshly cleaned, as doing so can permanently diminish its value. Instead, focus on natural tunning and originality. Check rolls of older nickels from banks, estate sales, or inherited collections. Sometimes, these hidden gems surface where you least expect them. And remember, every collector's journey begins with one coin that sparks their curiosity. In the end, the 1960D Jefferson nickel represents more than metal. It's a slice of American life captured in copper and nickel. Its modest face value contrasts sharply with its historical and collectible worth. Each surviving example carries the imprint of a generation that lived through the dawn of modern America, when coins were tools of daily life, not investment vehicles. For both new and seasoned collectors, this coin serves as a reminder that beauty and value can reside in the most ordinary objects. As we close this chapter in our exploration of rare Jefferson nickels, stay tuned, because next, we uncover another hidden treasure in America's pocket change, one that tells an equally fascinating story of history, art, and chance. Next up, among the many Jefferson nickels minted throughout the 20th century, few inspire as much fascination and intrigue as the 1953D Jefferson nickel from the Denver Mint. At first glance, it seems like an ordinary 5-cent piece from the early Cold War era, common, unassuming, easily overlooked. Yet beneath that modest exterior lies one of the most intriguing rarities in the entire series. For dedicated collectors, this coin represents a perfect blend of historical depth, minting mystery, and elusive scarcity. Its reputation has only grown over time as high-grade survivors have proven remarkably hard to find. In pristine condition, especially with the coveted full steps designation on Monticello, the 1953D Jefferson nickel can reach values well above $3,500, making it one of the most valuable circulation strikes of its decade. It stands as a symbol of how ordinary coins can transform into exceptional historical artifacts when time, chance, and preservation align. The story of the 1953D nickel begins in a post-war America rebuilding its economy and identity. The Denver Mint, nestled in the Rocky Mountains, was under pressure to produce vast quantities of coinage to meet the demands of a booming consumer culture. By 1953, the Jefferson nickel design had already been in circulation for over a decade, yet subtle changes in production quality reflected the shifting priorities of the U.S. Mint. Metals were scarce during the preceding war years, and by the early 1950s, quality control was inconsistent. Many coins suffered from weak strikes and poor details. Unlike proof coins from Philadelphia, the Denver issues were struck for mass use, not beauty. As a result, sharply detailed 1953 D nickels are exceedingly rare today. This coin is a testament not just to numismatic art, but to the practical realities of an America that valued speed and quantity over perfection. Visually, the coin is pure classic Americana. The obverse bears the distinguished portrait of Thomas Jefferson, his expression calm and reflective, modeled by artist Felix Schlag. Every fine contour of Jefferson's hair, cheek, and coat collar speaks to Schlag's dedication to realism and dignity. The inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1953 frame his profile in perfect balance. On the reverse stands the timeless image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, centered with architectural precision. Beneath it lies the small D mint mark, indicating its Denver origin. The coin is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighing exactly 5 grams with a diameter of 21.2 millimeters. Though simple in appearance, the precision of detail, especially the clarity of the steps leading to Monticello, distinguishes the finest examples. In uncirculated specimens, the surfaces shimmer with silvery brilliance, their metallic luster radiating like frozen light, a reminder of the artistry once embedded in everyday currency. The rarity of the 1953 D Jefferson nickel is rooted not in low mintage numbers, but in the difficulty of finding well-struck, high-grade examples. Over 59 million were minted, yet most suffered from the soft strikes and die fatigue that plagued Denver coinage that year. Only a fraction display the sharp architectural definition collectors crave. The full steps FS designation, a grading term indicating clear, uninterrupted lines on Monticello's steps, is almost mythical for this issue. Even coins that appear mint fresh often lack those crucial details. Add to this the natural wear from decades of circulation, and it becomes clear why surviving pristine examples are so scarce. Coins with even minimal bag marks, discoloration, or dull toning can lose significant value. Thus, the combination of technical flaw, limited quality survivors, and strong collector demand creates the perfect formula for rarity. Market values for the 1953 D Jefferson nickel have climbed steadily over the past 2 decades. In average circulated condition, it might sell for only a few dollars, but in high mint state grades, especially MS65 to MS67 full steps, prices can soar from $900 to nearly $4,200 depending on the coin's strike quality and visual appeal. Auction records show exceptional examples certified by PCGS or NGC fetching premium bids far exceeding initial estimates. Collectors are drawn not only by scarcity, but by the coin's place in the Jefferson series as one of the hardest Denver issues to find in top condition. The growing global interest in mid-20th century U.S. coinage has also contributed to its appreciation. For many investors, the 1953 D nickel has evolved from a simple collectible into a tangible store of historical and artistic value, a rare specimen of craftsmanship from a time before precision minting was fully automated. For collectors hopping to acquire one, patience and vigilance are essential. The first step is understanding what defines quality for this issue. Seek coins with bright, original luster and well-defined steps on Monticello. Subtle toning can add appeal, but avoid cleaned or artificially brightened examples, as they lose authenticity and long-term desirability. Always look for certification from reputable grading authorities such as PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. Proper storage in airtight holders or slabs is crucial to prevent oxidation. Collectors often find success at specialized auctions or through established numismatic dealers who handle vintage Jefferson series coins. Roll searching remains a long shot, but not impossible. Stories occasionally surface of a sharp 1953 D emerging from old bank rolls or inherited jars, a discovery that keeps the thrill of collecting alive. What gives this coin its enduring mystique is how it embodies a moment in America's industrial and cultural evolution. The 1953 D Jefferson Nickel is more than currency. It is a witness to the optimism and imperfection of an age defined by ambition and reconstruction. It tells the story of an era when craftsmanship met machinery and artistry contended with mass production. Every detail, from the faintest line of Jefferson's portrait to the glimmer of nickel alloy under light, reflects the dual identity of America itself: practical yet idealistic, ordinary yet remarkable. This is why seasoned collectors treat it not just as a numismatic prize, but as a relic of American endurance and artistry. In conclusion, the 1953 D Jefferson Nickel remains a crown jewel in the Jefferson series, cherished for its scarcity, historical depth, and enduring value. Its rarity in high-grade form makes it one of the most challenging and rewarding nickels to pursue. Whether viewed as an investment or a piece of living history, its beauty lies in the intersection of imperfection and precision, a coin that was never meant to be rare, yet became so through time's quiet design. For collectors and historians alike, it serves as a lasting reminder that even in the smallest pieces of metal, great stories can reside. And as we turn the page to the next remarkable chapter in America's coinage history, the legacy of the 1953 D nickel continues to gleam, waiting for the next generation to rediscover its quiet brilliance. Next up, among Jefferson nickels, few possess the quiet dignity and understated rarity of the 1952 Jefferson nickel without mint mark, struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Though millions were produced that year, this particular issue has become one of the most sought-after nickels of the early 1950s, prized for its striking beauty, subtle variations, and exceptional difficulty in locating pristine examples. It is a coin that bridges the gap between accessibility and prestige, offering collectors an attainable yet challenging pursuit. In numismatic circles, it is often described as the sleeper of the Jefferson series, a coin whose value lies not in scarcity of mintage, but in scarcity of perfection. In the current market, a gem-quality, uncirculated example with sharp details can command prices well above $3,200, proving that sometimes the most valuable coins are the ones hiding in plain sight. The 1952 Jefferson Nickel was born during a time when America was emerging from the shadow of war and stepping into an age of innovation and optimism. The Philadelphia Mint, the oldest in the nation, handled the main production for that year's nickel coinage, striking tens of millions to keep pace with a rapidly expanding economy. Yet 1952 marked a transitional moment for the U.S. Mint, one of refinement, as the country moved beyond wartime metal shortages and sought consistency in design and quality. The Jefferson Nickel, introduced in 1938, had by then become an American staple, its design a quiet nod to the nation's founding ideals of wisdom, reason, and democratic virtue. Coins without a mint mark, such as this issue, signified the Philadelphia origin and reflected the central role that the mint played in supplying the backbone of the country's currency system during the mid-century boom. Every angle of the 1952 nickel reveals Felix Schlag's timeless artistry. The obverse bears Jefferson's dignified left-facing portrait, his gaze steady and thoughtful, embodying the rational humanism that guided the early republic. In well-preserved specimens, one can see the minute curls of his hair, the soft contour of his cheek, and the subtle depth in his eye. In God We Trust arcs gracefully along the left, balanced by liberty, and the date 1952 on the right, separated by a small five-pointed star. The reverse displays Monticello, Jefferson's neoclassical home, rendered with architectural symmetry and quiet strength. The absence of a mint mark beneath the structure immediately identifies it as a Philadelphia issue. Composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, the coin's silvery hue and smooth metallic texture give it an elegance that belies its humble denomination. In high-grade examples, the luster gleams with mirror-like brilliance, a visual echo of post-war America's ambition and craftsmanship. The challenge and allure of the 1952 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel lies in finding one struck with precision and preserved without damage. The Philadelphia Mint that year produced over 63 million nickels, yet most entered circulation quickly, enduring decades of wear that dulled their features. Weak strikes were common, and the intricate steps of Monticello, often used by collectors to gauge sharpness, were rarely fully impressed. The full steps designation, awarded by grading services to coins showing complete, uninterrupted lines on Monticello's staircase, is exceedingly rare for this issue. Those few that survive in mint state with full steps are true prizes. Even minor imperfections such as contact marks, dull tunning, or weak luster can drop a coin's grade dramatically. As a result, the 1952 Philadelphia nickel has become a study in subtlety, where perfection lies not in rarity of number, but in rarity of condition. Over the years, market values for this coin have seen consistent appreciation, especially for certified high-grade examples. While circulated pieces remain affordable, typically worth only a few dollars, gem uncirculated examples in MS-66 to MS-67 full steps can bring between $850 and $4,100, depending on surface quality and overall eye appeal. Coins with exceptional luster or strong strikes often fetch premium bids at auctions, sometimes surpassing even those figures. Numismatic demand for early 1950s Jefferson nickels has grown steadily, driven by the realization that truly flawless examples are significantly rarer than their mintage might suggest. As collectors refine their Jefferson sets, coins like the 1952 Philadelphia issue become essential cornerstones, representing both artistic integrity and numismatic challenge. For collectors seeking to identify and preserve this coin, careful observation and patience are indispensable. The key lies in recognizing sharp detail and original mint brilliance. Natural tunning, a soft rainbow or silvery sheen, can enhance a coin desirability, but heavy discoloration or cleaning marks diminish its value. Never attempt to polish or clean these coins. Professional conservation is the only safe method. Certification from reputable grading companies such as PCGS or NGC not only authenticates your coin, but also secures its market value. Storage in airtight holders or slabs helps protect against environmental damage. Those who wish to find this elusive treasure might explore reputable numismatic auctions, specialized Jefferson nickel dealers, or long-held family collections. The best finds often come from forgotten coin jars or rolls left untouched for decades, waiting for an observant collector to recognize their hidden worth. The 1952 Jefferson nickel without mint mark stands as a quiet masterpiece of American coinage, an artifact from a time when precision met purpose. It carries with it the optimism of a nation redefining itself after years of global turmoil, and its artistry honors the enduring legacy of one of America's greatest thinkers. In the realm of numismatics, it represents the beauty of restraint, a coin whose value emerges not from grandeur, but from craftsmanship, history, and survival. For collectors, it is both a test and a reward, demanding knowledge, patience, and discernment. In the end, the 1952 Jefferson nickel from Philadelphia remains a coin that captures the spirit of its age, humble yet profound, ordinary yet irreplaceable. Its scarcity in high grades makes it one of the most desirable nickels of its decade, while its refined design and deep historical ties ensure its place among the classics of mid-century American coinage. Whether admired for its artistry, cherished as an investment, or simply held as a small piece of national history, it continues to enchant collectors across generations. As each new discovery adds to its legend, the 1952 no-mint mark nickel endures as a timeless reminder that true rarity is often found in the details the world once overlooked. Next up, among the early issues of the Jefferson Nickel series, few pieces capture the imagination of collectors like the 1940 Jefferson Nickel without mint mark, struck at the historic Philadelphia Mint. At first glance, it may seem like just another mid-century 5-cent piece, but in the world of numismatics, it represents an era of transformation and craftsmanship. What makes this coin so captivating is the combination of historical importance, subtle design nuances, and the exceptional rarity of fully struck, uncirculated examples. While millions were produced, most were lost to time, wear, or neglect, leaving only a precious few in pristine condition. These surviving gems, especially those displaying the elusive full steps on Monticello, can command astonishing prices, with premium specimens valued as high as $4,200 in today's market. It is a coin that speaks to both the artistry of American minting and the quiet endurance of the nation's early 20th century spirit. The 1940 Jefferson Nickel was born in an age of global uncertainty and domestic change. The United States had not yet entered World War II, but the world around it was shifting rapidly. As war clouds gathered over Europe, American industry began to prepare for the possibility of conflict, and the mint was no exception. In 1940, the Philadelphia Mint, the nation's oldest and most storied facility, was tasked with striking an enormous quantity of Jefferson nickels to meet the needs of an economy still recovering from the Great Depression, but growing increasingly active. The nickel series, introduced just 2 years earlier in 1938, had replaced the beloved Buffalo nickel, bringing a new sense of refinement and classical design to U.S. coinage. The 1940 issue thus stands as one of the earliest full-scale productions of the series, marking a turning point between artistic tradition and industrial modernization in American coin manufacturing. The coin's design, the creation of sculptor Felix Schlag, captures the dignity and intellect of Thomas Jefferson with remarkable grace. On the obverse, Jefferson's left-facing portrait dominates the field, his gaze calm and determined. In God We Trust arcs along the left edge, while Liberty and the date 1940 appear along the right, separated by a modest star, a subtle symbol of balance and faith. The reverse showcases Jefferson's home, Monticello, rendered with neoclassical precision. Its domed roof and stately columns reflect Jefferson's architectural genius, framed by the inscriptions E+LURIBUS Monticello, and United States of America. The absence of a mint mark confirms its Philadelphia origin. Composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, the coin weighs 5 grams and measures 21.2 millimeters across. When preserved in mint condition, the coin's satin-like luster and fine detailing make it a true visual treasure, an embodiment of early American artistry meeting modern minting technology. What separates the 1940 no-mint mark nickel from more common issues is not its mintage count, but its survival quality. Over 176 million were struck, but the vast majority entered circulation almost immediately, enduring decades of handling that eroded their delicate features. The Philadelphia Mint of that era was known for somewhat inconsistent strikes, meaning many coins lacked the crisp detail collectors seek today. The most prized examples are those exhibiting sharp detail across Jefferson's cheekbone and hair, and on the reverse, full, unbroken steps leading up to Monticello. Achieving that level of detail required a perfect die strike, proper alignment, and minimal wear, all rare conditions for the time. Coins with the coveted full steps, FS, designation have become exceedingly difficult to find, with only a few hundred certified at the highest grades. Their rarity is compounded by natural oxidation, bag marks, and contact wear that afflicted nearly all 1940 nickels, before collectors recognized their future value. In the modern numismatic market, the 1940 Jefferson nickel without mint mark enjoys both strong collector interest and consistent price growth. In lower circulated grades, it remains relatively common, often trading for a modest sum. However, high-grade examples certified as MS66 to MS67 full steps have realized exceptional results at auction, commanding prices between $1,100 and $4,300, depending on luster, strike quality, and eye appeal. Proof strikes from the same year, also minted in Philadelphia, are distinct and command their own market, but the business strike's rarity in top condition makes it even more desirable. Over the past decade, demand for early Jefferson nickels has surged, driven by a new generation of collectors appreciating the series' historical and artistic value. The 1940 issue, once overlooked, now stands as a cornerstone of that revival, proof that beauty and rarity can emerge even from the most ordinary beginnings. For collectors pursuing this elusive coin, careful study and patience are essential. The key lies in condition, as even slight imperfections can significantly alter value. Seek coins with strong, original mint luster and minimal contact marks, especially across Jefferson's jawline and the fields surrounding Monticello. Avoid polished or cleaned coins, as these lose authenticity and collector value. Authentication and grading by trusted institutions such as PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, are vital, particularly for higher-end pieces. These certifications not only verify authenticity but also safeguard your investment. For acquisition, established coin dealers, specialized auctions, and numismatic conventions remain the best sources. Occasionally, old coin rolls or family collections reveal a hidden treasure, an uncirculated 1940 nickel lying forgotten for generations, waiting to be rediscovered. What makes this coin truly special extends beyond its metallic composition or monetary worth. It is a tangible fragment of American resilience. Minted on the brink of war, the 1940 Jefferson nickel represents a moment when the United States was both grounded in its democratic ideals and poised to face global challenges. Jefferson's calm visage on the obverse became a silent emblem of reason and endurance, qualities the nation would soon need. For numismatists, owning this coin is akin to holding a sliver of history, a token from a pivotal year that shaped both America's economic recovery and its cultural identity. Its simple elegance and subtle imperfections make it more than just currency. It is a story cast in copper and nickel. In conclusion, the 1940 Jefferson nickel from Philadelphia remains one of the most evocative and desirable coins in the Jefferson series. Its rarity in gem condition, historical depth, and visual appeal ensure its lasting place among the classics of U.S. coinage. Whether appreciated for its artistry, collected for its investment potential, or cherished as a connection to the nation's past, it continues to captivate collectors with its quiet strength and understated beauty. As each new generation rediscovers the magic of mid-century American coinage, the 1940 no-mint mark nickel stands as a shining example of how even the most common object can become extraordinary through time, care, and historical perspective.